Okay.
All right. Let me get a refresh. I think it might be working. And
I saw a flicker.
bitch better have my money.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome to the Good HRE podcast, where this will probably be our last podcast before we get banned horribly off the site. This week, we have a bunch of regular podcast members with us. We have Anon Pencil.
I'm so tired. I can't feel my toes.
We have Enigmatic Otaku.
Have I done enough of these podcasts to earn my freedom yet?
Never.
No. We have Listener.
Hello, everyone.
We have Milk. And the infamous Rob Cakerin 53.
Why am I here again?
Because we have a wonderful, wonderful guest. Probably one of the coolest guests we've ever had. Cough, cough, Anonymous Pegasus. Cough, cough, anyone else on this podcast. We have Wanderer D, who's kind of a big deal.
That's what I'm told, really, but whatever.
So for all of you who are tuning in for the very first time over on Ponyville Live or on our YouTube channel, welcome. We are an entirely user-submitted podcast where you ask the questions, you request the guests, and we do our best to finagle them on here in a way that doesn't make them horribly uncomfortable. But of course, we always do.
Make them really uncomfortable.
I am already uncomfortable.
Shit! It's beginning.
So we already have a bunch of questions that are out in the Good HRE list group on FemFiction that we're going to ask Wanderer D. And if there are any other questions you would like to ask, if you're watching this, go ahead and put them in the comments and we'll do our best to add them to our stream.
I'll keep an eye on it. If you're really stupid about your questions and you ask me something like, what kind of underwear is Wanderer D wearing and can I sniff them? I'm not going to ask him that. I'll probably laugh, but I won't ask him. Just so
I'm not wearing underwear anyway.
Excellent. Now we know. Question answered.
And we're going to get our weekend off to an early start with a drinking word for this podcast, as always. And this week's drinking word is mod.
We're going to get big.
All right, I'm taking a drink already.
Yep, let's start.
Perfect. So let's start with a few like normal interview questions, because that's how interviews work.
Okay.
Question number 1. Who are you and what have you done to contribute to the Brony fandom?
Well, I am a mod.
Drink.
For femfiction.net. I started writing pony fiction back in 2011. Wow. I don't know what I've done with my life since, but apparently it has been pony words. My contributions have been mostly, like organizing panels, couple of events at FemFiction, stories, BronyCon panels as well. I don't know. I mean, I made a pest of myself, and I became a moderator.
Drink.
And that's eventually how I just started gaining some fame. I guess I wrote a couple of guides that people liked, in which I was very, very aggressive against straw ponies or straw people, representing how the majority of the complaints or like worst cases we got back then. And yeah, that has been my main contribution to the fandom, mostly fan fiction related.
Awesome.
Oh, and antagonizing other users. That is my thing. Yes.
Wow. So literally a case of if you annoy people long enough, you get power.
Pretty much. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I was like, it worked for Priest, all right. So.
I'll stop. So number 2, when did you formally join the fandom, quote unquote, become a brony? And what's your favorite part of the community as a whole? Like the music, the fan fiction community. What's your take on it?
All right. Officially, I became part of the fandom at the end of, roughly the end of 2011. And it wasn't actually my idea. It was a friend of mine that told me about it. He was like, hey, dude, there's a whole bunch of pony shit going on at 4chan. And that just started me on a spiral. I used to write fan fiction from a long time ago, so I read a couple of fics. I thought I could do better. I couldn't really, but I tried. And that was the beginning of it. I think I already drank too much. I kind of forgot the rest of the question.
No, you did just fine. The third question I could ask is if there's one thing you could say to your fans or haters, whatever you want to take on the question, what would you say to them?
Don't take it personal. It's, don't take it personal. There's always assholes on fanfiction that will downvote your stuff. And there's always people that will have real reasons to do it, whether you agree or not. Or there's going to be people that are going to piss you off for whatever reason they want. So, don't take it personal. It's fan fiction. I mean, it's important, but it's not worth making your life miserable over.
I think that's really good advice to give. And
also, you did ask me a little bit earlier. Now that I remember, now that the coffee is finally kicking in, or rather that, what is it? Whatever, Kahlua. You did ask me what my favorite part of the fandom was. I mean, I work mostly with fan fiction, and I really love the fact that everyone there is opinionated and will actually tell you if your story sucks, which I guess ties with don't take it personal kind of thing. But it does help make you a better writer. If you look at, I love writing The Empty Room, but if you look at how I wrote back then, after, I hadn't written in a while, but after, just comparing that to what I can just throw out now without even editing, it is mostly because people were able to tell me, this sucks, and I was able to take it.
Right.
Yeah, and like the fandom has a lot of good things, a lot of bad things, but fan fiction is my thing.
Now, before we jump into the user submit questions, because I know when you pool for questions on the internet, I know we're going to get a lot of very thought-provoking questions that are going to really make us analyze the state of the current fandom.
Priest.
I'm trying to make this legit.
Let's be honest for a second. You're about to get asked some shit, man. So
I deal with shit on a daily basis. It's okay. It's
out of personal interest, you mentioned 4chan a little bit with getting into the fandom. Was that through B? Was that through V? Or was that when Pony the Board was actually made?
No, it was through B.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
me too.
Awesome. Just it's good to kind of get it's unusual how many people.
Let me clear this up, out though. It's not like I'm an active or I was an active 4chaner. I went in from time to time. I posted shit from time to time, but I wasn't really. I can't consider myself part of the 4chan community for real. Before someone actually calls me out on BS or something.
Right. You weren't the phrase is a tripper.
Yeah.
Or a name fag, which is
that is exactly my point. I don't want to pretend to be something I wasn't.
Right, of course.
So what you're saying is you're not desperately trying to distance yourself from 4chan before it comes crashing down upon you in a giant tidal wave of shit.
No, because there's literally no way of avoiding that if 4chan actually has against you.
Yep, it's true.
It's very true. All right, so without any further ado, we're going to jump into questions. And who better to start with than Majin Siko? His first question is, how much were you bribed to be on this podcast?
I wasn't bribed. I begged and I cried and I was asking all the time.
So
do I drink when I lie? Should I drink when I lie? No.
Sure, drink whenever you lie.
Those 2 years were a fear, right?
No, I wasn't actually bribed. They promised me that I will be able to drink and talk to people.
And that's going to happen. It's happening right now. We're drinking and we're talking.
Exactly.
It's great, right? Please don't ban us.
As a fanfic mod, I had to agree with.
Drink. Oh, you're putting it in beautifully.
Good words, Wander. We'll release your daughter later.
I don't have a daughter.
Not anymore. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. All right.
That said, before we go too much deeper, because Majin thinks that you should negotiate for a higher price, Jinx the Minx asks a question, who's clearly heard a voice for the first time. Are you from Colombia?
No.
But
I was actually born in Texas.
Hey, Hush. Yes.
Yes. Therefore, my concept of big is different than other people's. And no, but I was born in Texas, grew up in Mexico, and lived in England. So that's why my accent is all messed up.
Oh, wow.
But can you still say Colombian sugar?
Stop.
Colombian sugar.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now you were nice to him. Now I'm going to have to retrain him that he's shit and he should never get anything he wants in life. Jesus.
Isolated.
Two of my coworkers are Colombian, so I'll ask them to say it.
Excellent. Excellent.
Alrighty, now we're going to a question from Savored Thoughts.
Okay.
You can interpret this however you want, but when did you realize you wanted to become a fan fiction stripper?
A fan fiction stripper, dude. That was like back in '95.
What were you, like 10? Jesus.
15.
Oh, that was,
there you go.
that's some deep story stuff right there.
Yeah, actually,
Deep-
like there's
Deep in the
like,
heart of
there's-
Mexico, stripping to get a living.
Exactly, stripping to fan fiction, like writing for smut.
Oh boy.
What
But
would I do? Hmm.
but for real though, when did you realize that becoming a fan fiction mod was something you were interested in doing? What was your thought
Oh, and
process
a
that
fan
got you
fiction
to
mod or a fan fiction writer? And I'm already drinking, by the way.
here?
Yeah, thank
Mod
you.
specifically.
Drink again.
I was like I've been involved in, like, whenever I get into fandom, I kind of like do get involved. So it's when I started, when back in the day, like when you guys were not born yet and shit. I was, I was one of the people that was doing timing for translations of anime, like subtitles and stuff like that.
Oh
No
wow.
shit, really?
Yeah, like back when you had to buy a Betamax or a VHS of it.
Oh god, anime on Betamax. I remember that. You were
Yeah,
doing
like
those?
I mean, it was already getting out of Betamax, but like I was working with several people on, I wasn't doing the translations because I don't actually speak Japanese to that extent, but I was helping with the timing, or or later on encoding, and then like after that I started working on a dubbing studio where they were translating all the animation that came to Mexico. Well, I said not all, but a lot of it. So like if you ever watched Digimon in Spanish, you probably heard my voice at one point.
Oh, really?
And I directed a couple of episodes because the director just felt like going to take a coffee and leave me in charge. And so it's like for another friend had one of the biggest macros pages online. So in Spanish, it wasn't like robotech.com or anything like that, but like, so I became a moderator for his website for a while. So that's been part of, I don't half-ass it basically. So as soon as I started writing pony fiction and 90 came out with fanfic, I just wanted to be part of it.
Right.
And
So
yeah.
So you
naturally you went and worshipped Nighty for like weeks upon weeks until he was just
No, I actually was very critical of the site at times. Like I would either tell him directly or post comments on the blog post that he made, but it wasn't critical in the sense of like, this sucks, man. It was more on the side of I think we could improve this way or something like that. That's why he appreciated it, like, because there's a lot of complaints at times, but it's not that people are wrong to complain about it. It's just how they complain about it. And for a site that doesn't charge you anything and lets you do all the stuff that you can do on FinFic, I mean, you don't. Let me put it this way: if you're bitching about it, you're kind of an entitled brat.
Ha ha! You heard it here first, folks. I need to have that as a ringtone. Perfect. Yes, you're an entitled brat.
So continuing off of that, actually, this is something that there wasn't a question for, but I wanted to insert because I think this is funny. We had Professor Plum in not too long ago, who's also kind of site staff, and he gave the statement that that new character tags were not going to be a new thing because it's wrapped up with Genfic. 90 is focused more on Genfic. That's the current state things are going.
Well,
Then,
Paul lied.
And then Abyss went and messaged you about why there aren't new character tags yet, and you gave him a specific answer and say, no, they're not going to happen for a while. And he posted that as a blog. It was funny. Everyone got a laugh. And then 90 goes and makes them, not only a couple days after Abyss makes this. So here's my question for you. Why does 90 hate you guys?
He doesn't hate us. He just has a lot of stuff to do. And, it's one of the faults that I will admit from the moderator team. Sometimes, like, we don't have like a very clear way of explaining what we know because we don't have like an official memo that we all share and have to explain the same way. So I mean, I guess it could be perceived as a weakness, but he has stuff to do, and and in the meantime, he decided to throw that out because like a lot of people were asking for it.
Right.
I think it was the right choice for him to do so. Even if Genfix changes things later on, that is something that had to have been done a while ago.
Awesome.
And so he did.
Well, cool. We'll have to ask Zirian the exact same question next week when it comes to story approvers. So,
cool, Syrian. We have some stories about Syrian, don't we, Rob?
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
This-
Before we move on, I want to hear this. If you
Is
guys are
this
going to
story
talk
time?
shit about somebody we're going to talk to next week, I want to fucking hear this. So talk the
Look,
shit.
all you need to ask next week, when you ask Syrian what he's wearing, is ask him if he's wearing high heels.
I will ask him, and now I'm curious. Will he tell the story? You think?
He probably will. Yeah.
Good.
I wouldn't. I personally, I wouldn't be embarrassed if he told it.
Okay, and I'll tell him
Where
that
he's
he
embarrassed
tries to
about
get
it.
all secretive.
But yeah, he's a
All
cool
right.
dude. He does.
in-
He does
in-
kind of
in
like
the
scream
chat
like a little
right now.
girl. I have to say that.
He's in the chat right now, and he says, "Oi, fuck you, man."
I had the pleasure of being able to meet up with Zirian at a couple cons, and he's a good guy to be around.
Syrian is an awesome guy, but I had the pleasure of making him feel really uncomfortable at times.
That's so great.
It is amazing. Like the first time I met him, he was really excited to meet me, and I was drinking it in. He was like, "Oh, it's Wonder D. It's awesome. It's very nice to meet you." And I was like, "Yes, it is me. Hurry on." And like I was like Maui. I was like, "Yes, it's Wonder D. Breathing in." And he so he was very excited about it. I was very excited that I had a fan. And next year, like the year afterwards, he meets up with me, and he has his friends around. And I think I honestly do think he was trying to kind of show off that he knew me, because like he gave his friends that he was with this smug look, and he can deny it all he wants. But he's like, "Hey, Wonder, how's the wife?" And I just told him with a straight face, "I'm divorced now." And his face fell in the most amazing, awesome way that I have ever seen.
That's a special, delicious sort of pleasure when you can make somebody hate themselves that fast.
It was true. It was true. I was divorced, but like I shouldn't have derived pleasure out of it. I think, but it was just. I don't know. It felt like I was in a sitcom and I had to do it.
Schadenfreude.
Well, he
Yeah.
says that you have an ego the size of your birth state.
The size of my birth, what?
Birth state.
Birth
He
state.
says
Oh,
you
yeah,
have the
yeah.
size of Texas. And also
Awesome.
that you're all sadists and that we discussed him.
Perfect.
So, I have another question from the chat for you. What's the
Mhm.
best game system?
The best game system, PC.
Perfect.
Yeah, PC Master Race.
w-
Fuck yes.
Got no, the master race.
Look, I don't think there's a master race. I just enjoy PC a lot more. That's
I
all.
do too.
Alrighty, we'll go to some of the questions that are in the thread then now. Now we're going to Dr. Foxwolf. And his first question is, wieners?
Yes.
Perfect.
Good answer.
Second question, would it be morally wrong to get someone into butt stuff by using Pavlovian conditioning?
I think
Thanks to
the
Enigma.
pants actually. You were. Well, you'll have to tell me how that goes. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, is that Pavlovian conditioning something that's actually agreed upon? I mean,
Well, Pavlovian conditioning is the idea that.
no, I know what it is, but you
Okay.
could agree to have if you have like a written consent form. I mean, I guess.
Well, yeah,
you know.
you could have it done consensually, but there's also a possibility that you could slowly condition them to do it, subtly, so they would never realize you were getting them into butt stuff.
Sure, you know what? Absolutely, just do it.
Is Pavlovian conditioning your fetish, Anon? I'm writing that down.
Yeah,
Just say no. Just say no, pencil. You never got my consent.
I did too. I asked if it was okay, and you said yes, and I said okay. I'm gonna ruin your life now, and you said all right, and you let it happen. I have audio files of you saying this on YouTube.
It is true. You did.
There is a little
give
proof
consent.
towards that. Let me just put it this way: even if it's even if it's by fluffing and conditioning, the bottom line is if it's more fun that way, what's the issue?
Yay!
Can I also take a step back and be really immature that you said bottom line?
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we're gonna go to a question from Alcatraz.
All right.
In your professional opinion, what makes a story compelling? What creates that immersion factor?
Should I be a dick or just be honest?
Let's do both.
If you don't suck at writing, basically, like, and by that I mean, like if you at least know how to pace your story, you don't need to be a freaking grammar Nazi to have a good story. But if you don't even know how to, like, tie scenes together, not perfectly, but just so that it flows, you don't have you should just go back to the drawing board and learn to write. A compelling story can be anything. I mean, I usually don't read romance, but if it's well written and everything flows naturally, I will read it and I will enjoy it. But if you can't just put two sentences together that actually belong together, then just stop writing. Break your fingers. Like, try drawing. Find another job. Like, find another hobby. Or at least if you're not willing to put the work into it.
Mm-hmm. You can't want all the fame and all the recognition without putting the work in.
Exactly. And yes, Rob, break your fingers and then try drawing.
With the broken fingers, obviously.
With the broken fingers, yeah.
If you're bleeding from your broken
finger, unique.
If you're bleeding from your broken fingers, you get at least finger paint.
Yeah,
and you get red ink. In fact, it changes colors. It changes to black.
Though I will say that makes me really happy, because last podcast, one of the points I wanted to make to everyone that I was on a podcast with Crystal Wishes, and my point that I made is never think that writing's not hard work. I hate when people think of it as something that's easy they can do, like, with no effort. Writing is hard work, and if you're not putting in work, you're not doing it right.
If writing wasn't hard work, like, professional copywriters wouldn't be getting like what 70,000 a year, just
That's
like
not
on the starting level.
That's not how much they get starting level. Trust me. No,
well,
no,
it depends.
No,
Like, well, in the company I work for, they do.
I'm saying,
but like, but yeah, like, I mean, those guys won't hire anyone just because you can, like, you think you passed grammar school, and then writing is not something that's just saying just I can write correctly a couple of sentences and therefore that I can write a novel. You can't. That's not how it works. So yeah, people just throw shit out. They don't even know what they're talking about. Like that is one of my crusades, like, in film fiction, has always been to put value into the writing and bring up the fact that, yeah, sure, like, it's more obvious that an artist is better at, like, than another artist at drawing. But you can't say that that painters, fan arts are naturally always better than fan fiction, because fan fiction includes just as much of work, and it's doing it right is just as hard as actually drawing. Something like like getting to draw like John Secco or something like that. It's not something that you achieve just because you sat down and wrote the one thing.
Yeah,
I know you said painter, but what I heard was peener.
Well, peeners also need attention, and peeners also require hard work.
Oh man. Well, I know I do see the other side of it too. If you're just coming on here to write for you for funsies and publishing stuff, and it amuses you and you really don't give a shit, good for you. That's great. I'm just saying, if you want to improve, you have to work.
Yeah, but like, my issue is when people start pointing down the work of others just because they're being lazy. Like, there's people that just like, they write for fun. Fine, that's cool for them. Like that. Like, perfectly good reason, but that doesn't give you the right to just go around and crap on other people's work just because like to you it's a joke and to them it isn't.
Yeah. Okay. I absolutely agree with you on that too.
Interesting. Okay.
No, Rob, like My Little Dashie is not well written.
Get
Oh,
dicked on.
Where's the rim shot for that, Rob? Huh?
so I'm going to tell a little story about Rob.
Oh,
So
Go, Pencil, go.
No,
Rob-
also just to clear, Rob can write really well, but that is
Oh,
definitely
no.
not like a best example of his writing.
No.
I know, and Rob is not a huge fan of My Little Dashie. So one day he fell asleep on stream, and we were hanging out, and we could hear him start snoring, and so I was like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna fuck with Rob," and then I said like really sweetly into the mic, like, "You know what? I love My Little Dashie. It's the best piece of writing I've ever seen. It's what Rob's gonna be known for the rest of his life." And in his sleep, I hear Rob moan out a no and like go back to sleep.
Yeah, I
I have a
remember
witness
every time, like for the first week after I met him, every time I saw him, I was like, "Hey, you're the guy that wrote My Little Dashie," and he would just glare at me.
Exactly. I do that with him too. He's great. Rob is great.
Yeah, but like you know what's even better when you tell someone that doesn't know that he's the guy that wrote it.
Yeah, and then they freak out, and you get to watch Rob have to deal with them.
Yes, exactly. That is a beautiful thing.
Can
It's
I
almost-
just add? Can I just
Go for
add the best thing is when I've known someone for like 2 years at cons, and then you people do that to them, and they didn't know.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, holy shit! And they see you in a whole new light.
Yeah, that happened when we drove to BronyCon together. Yeah. And Rob was just, like he was just driving, and one of his friends was, like we were talking about fan fiction, and they brought. I don't remember if they brought up My Little Dashie or I just like threw it out. Like, well, that he wrote My Little Dashie, right? And fan moments, like a guy that he's known for a couple of years, just fawning over him. It was beautiful, man. It was beautiful.
That was a 14-hour van ride of hell.
Oh my gosh. All right,
We need to
let's
move
try
on
and
to the
get.
next questions.
Yeah. Were there any questions in the chat, Pencil?
Do you like Displaced Stories?
Do I what? No, absolutely
No?
not. Worst stories in the world.
Yay! There
Perfect.
you go. Answered. Yes.
Now we're gonna go to questions from the other guy.
Okay.
He would like to know, would you fuck, kill, or marry between Flurry Heart, Pound Cake, and Pumpkin Cake?
None of them.
Perfect.
Kill them all?
No, I will not. None of them. I will not fuck, kill, or marry any of them.
Just
Damn, dude.
complete abdication.
Cop out.
It's not a cop out. I just dislike them all.
Oh no, but the game is you have to pick one to marry, have to pick one to kill, and have to pick one to fuck. You got to pick them.
No, I don't.
There you go.
You know why? Because I'm freaking Wonder D. I can do this shit. I can just say no.
Oh, okay. Please don't ban us. I'm sorry.
So Mod gives you veto powers.
No, it's just a fact. I'm Wonder D. I do this shit all the time. I say no when I want.
That also mod drink. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. Shit.
All right. Now for a serious question. What's your writing process like?
I sit down, open the browser, load Google Docs, and then I just literally start writing the first thing that comes to mind. So usually I have an idea of where I want to go with the story, so I'll just start writing towards that idea. Like I try to have like the ending in mind, and a couple of scenes of what I want to happen, and then I just let it flow.
Let it flow. Let it
Exactly.
flow.
Yes, I was expecting someone to sing it, but it's the truth of the matter.
And it wasn't pretty.
Like sometimes I just sometimes I just sit down and I just want to write something, like for example like something about like the whole thing with Gabby, the Griffin, right? So
Yes, Gabby is amazing.
So I just want to say, I just want to like, how will Celestia have reacted if she had thought that it was for real, that she had gained a cutie mark, right? And then, I just started writing, and then halfway through the story, it became more of a, of a hopeful thing than a dark comedy. and then I just went back and changed a couple of things, and that was the one shot. That's if it's something novel length, I just try to pace myself. But again, it's just like I have an idea for a chapter, and I just start writing the chapter and works towards finishing that scene, or to the point where it feels like it's a good time to stop and maybe start concentrating on the next chapter.
Right. It's always important not to overstay yourself in your own stories, so that way it stays interesting and keeps flowing.
Exactly. I mean, as long as I try to have a minimum amount of words. Like I mean, I hate doing 1,000 word chapters because I feel it's like moronic. But I mean, ideally, I'm aiming for 3,000 to 4,000 words. And but if the story just tells me, like if the writing just tells me, you need to stop here, that's where I stop. Like sometimes it's less than I want to, but if you're forcing yourself to write all the time, you're going to end up messing up things.
So, oh man, I'm not going to make you shit talk anything by all means, but with that in mind, what do you think of stories that are over 1 million words, that are extremely long for the sake of being long?
Where are you going with this?
Well, you said specifically that the point is to keep chapters very small, keep it concise, and make sure the story has defined beginning and end.
I mean, I think a story should have. Yeah, I mean, a story should have like a beginning and end. Basically, the middle can like you can sort of stretch around. Like novels have more than one arc going on.
Yeah.
So it's not it's not like you have to limit yourself to like, but like just because you end one arc, it doesn't mean that the story's ended. But
right.
Like there's stories that are just being written because the author, I guess, gets attention, and that and then there's stories that they're just long because that's just the way the author writes.
Right.
For example, like Imploding Colon, aka Short Skirts and Explosions.
Right. Apple Dashing.
Like his stories have a name. Like he's actually aiming to something. He has an idea of what he wants to, like, of the point he wants to get. It's just his freaking Short Skirts and Explosions. Like he will sit down and write continuously until he feels like he finished the chapter.
Mm-hmm.
But like there's stories that it's just like another chapter in the life of this OC that no one cares about, or just the author and like the 100 followers that he gathered for whatever reason. And it's like, well, if you're not getting anywhere with it, what's the point of writing this whole thing? That's why I prefer manga over comic books in general, is that like manga usually has an ending in sight. It's a contained story. You can go for on and on and on and on and go really long like Naruto, but at least Naruto ended.
Okay.
So it's it's a thing. Like if you have an ending, you have to at least have some sort of indication of where you're going. And if it's like if it's one of those kind of like slash for lifey kind of stories that are just basically going nowhere, and it's just like the telling of the life of someone, it even stops being about the character. Like there's a point where the character just becomes an extension of something else, and if the character doesn't change, then you're not writing correctly. So yeah, I don't know.
Awesome. I think that's some really good writing advice. Seriously, no, the purpose of keeping an ending in mind. So then we'll take that and go to a different question, also from the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
Can we really imagine things like new ideas, story arcs, and concepts, or is everything that we're writing or thinking of now just a mixture of things that we've already experienced or seen before?
All right, so we're actually trying to be deep now.
We're 10 deep.
I don't know. I mean, I think you can imagine situations, but the way that you write the reactions is based on what you have experienced. If that makes any sense.
I think that makes sense. I think
like, I mean, you can imagine landing on the moon, but if you've never actually been there, so you have to imagine how you handle it.
I think I can put on Dark Side of the Moon to that. I think that works. All right. Now, Major Dude asks, what is your favorite story? And the specifier is not on fan fiction, but just what is your favorite story in general?
Oh, God. I don't know.
It's my favorite story, right?
stop?
No, probably the Sacred Book of the Werewolf. I really like that book.
Who's that by?
I actually forgot his name right now. I blame it
Awesome.
on the drinks. Hold on, let me.
And then I have a chat question for you when you're done with that.
I have The Sacred Book of the Werewolf, a novel by Victor Pelevin.
Pelevin, yes. What happened to my book? I can't find it. It must be in a box somewhere. Actually, it's in my room. Never mind.
Oh, it's Russian.
Yeah.
Right,
I
go
have
on.
a question from. Are there any up and coming stories on the site that you're excited for?
Up and coming stories in the site. Like, well, you know what? I'll be honest. I'm always happy to see a couple of stories update. And today, just so happens that one of them updated. And that is 3 Gems and a Scooter. I like that one. I don't know. I mean, you know, like, I'll be honest. You know, like I like most of my favorites haven't updated in a long time.
Aw.
So
Just because they're on hiatus or because they completed?
I don't know. Honestly, I think hiatus. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Mort Takes a Holiday needs to update soon, am I right? Right.
Fucking yes.
Wow, when was the last time he updated that thing? Like,
That's a good question.
well, he started rewriting it, didn't he? I don't know.
All right, we'll go to some
Long
questions
time.
now from Tony Montana.
Tony Montana.
How does being a moderator affect your ability to write?
It doesn't.
Drink.
Well, it's moderator, not mod.
Mod is part of the word moderator.
I just said mod 3 times,
I-
so 3
Oh,
times.
God.
Damn it!
Drink.
I'm gonna run out of scotch. This is not good.
Oh, beer. Anyway.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. You know when Plum said that Scotch would go with ice cubes?
Yeah.
Fuck you, Plum. Seriously, man.
Oh,
Yes! Oh,
thank
you're my
you.
new favorite mod.
Like
Drink.
seriously, what the hell, man? If you wanted cold, just buy one of those rocks that you can throw in the freezer and then just put it in, and it doesn't add water to it.
Yes,
Whiskey Stone?
thank
Yes.
you so much. And also, there are scotches that are very low level, I will say, and they're fine over ice. But if you have a nice scotch, you don't put that over ice cubes.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Man, that was embarrassing for the whole of the UK, man. No wonder Brexit happened.
Oh shit! Oh,
Politics, the podcast.
oh, I love it. So anyway,
So see ya, Meester. Wander is my new favorite mod.
Right.
But how does being a
Stop
mod
saying
affect
that
your
word,
ability to
please.
write? Sorry, I'm working on it.
You know, it doesn't. I think it just made me more aware of my own mistakes, because I you know, like approving stories or just like looking over stuff that has been submitted or stuff. You know, it's just, and seeing how horrible some shit is. It's like, I hope I didn't do this. So you know, when I'm writing, I'm like, I remember that stuff, and I don't. I just avoid it.
I see.
Like, you know, like every time I see a display story, I'm like, no.
So
So
can you ban display stories? Do you have that power?
Look, I could make a case for it, but I'm not going to stop people from writing it.
so
I mean, it is lazy. It is, you know, like it is, you know, like arguably the worst way to self-insert yourself, because, like, honestly, if you can't even write like a regular crossover or use a character as he's supposed to be just because you want to have like freaking superpowers when you appear in a land of ponies, don't write. But, you know, like, that's my opinion. You know, like, I'm not going to write that shit. But if someone wants to write it and they want to submit that and then, you know, like, expose themselves to, you know, like, the actual criticism that they're going to get out of it outside of their little niche communities, you know, more power to them. But I'm not doing it, and I'm not going to ever like it.
I do too.
I do too. I am curious though. I'm trying to quickly reread through story submission rules to make sure I don't make a fool of myself here.
It's too late, bro. No worries.
I was gonna say it. Thank you.
What separates displaced being allowed on the site from a difference of saying 5-score type stories?
Shit, you had to bring that up, didn't you? I barely even remember 5-score. The thing
I know
is,
5-score has a rule against it that you're not allowed to submit stories like that, and it makes me wonder, what does it take? How cancerous do you have to be for a type of story to be banned?
like the thing is, like I think it's on a different level. I'll be straight with you. I didn't have anything to do with banning 5-score.
Okay.
But as my as part of my job, I had to like act on it. I think it's just like the level of like people involved in it. I mean, because like these places most of the time it's just some random dude sees some like some guy wrote a story where like John Doe gets transported to Equestria with Spider-Man's powers, and like they like the idea as a way to self-project or whatever their internal reasoning is, and then like and they throw it in, but it's not like an actual huge organized like let's throw it all at the same time kind of thing. I mean, I know that they like they kind of like sometimes tend to crossover between them, like reference each other's works, or like maybe even have like guest appearances or whatever, but it's not it's not it's not cancerous on that level. It's not affecting the site in general. It's not like crowding everything.
Okay. And that's probably one of the key differences. It's not corralling the whole site. Fair.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right. Let's go to a real question. A real
All
question
right.
from the thread. Have there been any ideas that you liked yourself but thought it would not sit well with your followers or readers?
Most of my club fiction.
Huh. You really think that your readers would be upset?
Well, the thing is, I don't have anything against alts personally. So, like I think that, like you don't I don't think that they would like hate me for it, but I don't think that most of my followers follow me because I wrote, like a story that had Klopp in it,
Right.
I mean, I know that a few of them do, but like it's kind of not what I'm about most of the time. And like, and I don't want to also be the type of person that says, like I'm going to be writing Klopp and don't do it because, I don't know. I'm making shit up. Like I don't know. Like I'm trying to explain it, but it like just bullshit is coming out of my mouth.
I totally understand. I totally understand. I'll try and fill in the gaps a little bit. Like I am an Anon and Equestria writer. It is what I do. It is what I got a lot of followers for. It's what I, for the most part, solely wrote until I did a few other things. And when I began doing one or two occasional 100% pony stuff that doesn't use Anon, it obviously didn't get as much of a reception because people weren't
it's
here
less
for
about
that.
like I don't, it's not like I'm writing just to get attention. Like I mean,
I'm not saying
like
you should.
if that, no, but it's not that I want them all to read it. It's just that, like I write the type of stories that I write as one or D is not the type of stories that like it just doesn't fit the profile really.
So to summarize what you two were saying is you both don't want to be one-trick ponies.
Exactly.
I'm just happy you used one trick pony in a non-ironic context. Anyway, let's see. Of all your incomplete stories, which is proving the hardest to continue? And
the Sweetie Chronicles.
Why is that?
Well, the thing is, the Sweet Chronicles is really freaking hard to write. Not because the story is like beyond me, but because I have to coordinate with other people. And specifically this chapter that's been waiting for so long is just that Captain Chrysalis has a really specific way of writing and a really specific way of moving things along that is just it's just really, really hard to just jump in and kind of try to complete it without his assistance. I mean, there's a couple of, I mean, I've written chapters without other authors, but it is kind of like a very involved way when you're writing with him. Like a lot of people just like give me tips about their story, or like maybe you should do this. A few of them will like will jump in and write with me. but Captain Chrysalis has a way of steering the story towards certain points that he wants to make that I don't feel like would be doing justice to them properly. I mean, I reached the point where I have to, but it's been hard to kind of like go in and start to rewrite and scratch ideas that I know he wanted to take somewhere. But like he's busy with life right now, and that's I'm not going to force him to go back into my story. So yeah, I mean, there's authors there, like every chapter is written with an author, or at least with their consent and as much involvement as I can get out of them. And when they become really involved in part of the story, it's really hard to just like pretend that they were not there. Take Somber, for example. Writing with Somber is it's a fun experience, and he definitely turned the whole thing into a Triple X club story, which will have to be definitely edited like heavily. But it is just the way he writes, and like that's the way he moves the story. He has a lot of really like intense shock value to the stuff that he's trying to say, but it works because what the story is part of Project Horizon's
it's intense stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like you cannot write a story that takes place in Project Horizons and have it be roses and rainbows. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is.
The exact quote was sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, but I like roses.
I think that's gonna actually be a story prompt now for someone to make roses and rainbows in Project Horizons.
You heard it, viewers. Make it happen.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I mean that is the hardest story to continue. The hardest to be motivated to continue is probably this. I mean, I don't know. I think that it's kind of like a half forgotten story, which is called Lyra's Quest, and like it's kind of hard to like. I think that's like the one that I'm least likely to continue, even if I do sort of want to, but just doesn't. Like I haven't been able to ever muster the willpower to go back to it.
Alrighty, we'll move on to the next question. Now from Tony Montana still. What are you looking forward to in season 7?
Gabby.
Man, I'm
no,
sorry.
I don't know. I mean, like I want more Crusaders, but I want like more Sweetie specific episodes. Less Spike, obviously.
Yes. Oh, I like you
yes.
so much. I like you so much. Okay.
More Luna. I don't know. Like I want like the thing is I'm conflicted about her because I mean I love the character, but if they take away how like kind of like mystical and mysterious she is, would it be a good thing or a bad thing? I feel like I'm really conflicted about that. And I mean I mean TV series only because I know the comic books have worked with her before, but the TV series, I don't know. It's just I feel like it would be a little bit of a mistake if you had like a much more involved episode with her. But at the same time, I mean, it's like she's out of the two originals. I think she's my favorite princess over Celestia.
Fair enough. Next question is, what are your thoughts on the upcoming MLP movie?
Sure. Why not?
There you go. Yeah.
You heard it here from Moderator.
It up pretty well.
Yeah.
What do you think of Spike as a character? We already know you don't like him, but what do you think of him? What's your
So it's difficult to explain. It's not that I dislike Spike. It's just that I don't think he contributes anything. So I think that if his roles were less, like the thing is, like, at the beginning of the whole thing, they had a chance to make him important, and they didn't. So pretty much it's established by episode 2 that he's kind of like the pet. And this is not to put him down. I'm not saying that he doesn't have like plenty of positive things about him. It's just that they treated him as something that as a character that's not important. Like he's immediately, like he's sort of introduced as someone that is influential to Twilight Sparkle, but by the 3rd episode he's just kind of there. Like he's a background character. Like he's almost on the same level as Cutie Mark Crusaders, except that they start getting more and more attention as time goes by. And Spike has like a couple of episodes that are focused on him, but it's kind of like every time I watch them, it's like why it's like such a hard attempt to try and salvage a character that needs time to develop, and they don't give him that time to develop. They just like his thing was he had a crush on Rarity. Wow, I mean, half the fandom had a crush on Rarity. I mean, who cares? Like give me more. Like he was Twilight Sparkle's assistant. Like all we see is like he's picking up books and writing shit and spitting out flames that turn into letters. I mean, like where's that character development? And then when they try to give you some, it's just like suddenly he has a freaking list of stuff that dragons don't actually do, because the next episode is proven that that dragon code is his own invention. So, I don't know. I mean, like, I think he could have been a good character. I think they wasted their opportunity with it, and that's why he is basically a background character.
He's actually not a background character. You know what he is? I realized this when you described all this. He's a walking, talking cell phone to contact the princesses.
Well, there was like the 10 minutes in season 2 that he was Rainbow Dash.
Also,
Yeah,
maybe
but
a changeling
that's like a
can
pun, though.
change, guys. Fuck.
Was that?
Maybe a changeling can change, guys. Fucking bitch ass little wizard.
Oh.
Pencil
Maybe
for a
they
second.
can become Tic Tacs.
Pencil, for a second there, I thought you were implying that Spike is terrible because we've been following a changeling this whole time, and the real Spike is actually a great character.
No, I hate Spike that much. That's all. That's all.
I mean, honestly, what really annoyed me was like, I mean, no. I want to say no offense, but I know that they will be offended, and I'll say it anyway. Is like, Sparity sucks.
Yes.
It really does.
I mean, ignore the fact that he's a child, and it's just like you have to face reality. Just because you have a crush on a girl doesn't mean that she has to owe you anything. All right? And if she wanted to be his friend and help him develop something, she should have. So, it's not like she's without blame, because obviously she knows that he has a crush on her, but you can't just assume that just because one guy wants something, it's meant to be. And I think that is really self-serving, and it's like, I don't know, I don't see it happening ever. Even to the point when Equestria Girls happened, he didn't turn into a boy, little guys. He turned a fucking pet. He was a puppy.
True.
Mm-hmm.
If they had wanted him to have a
twice.
chance, he would have turned into in someone the age of the Crusaders or something, just to be equal. Oh man, it feels good to say that stuff.
Rarity
Shit,
even
this is for.
so okay, so your views don't necessarily reflect the views of Film Fiction. We should get that out of the way. But
yeah, no, no one is going to ban that. No one is going to stop you from writing it. My personal opinion is that it's never happening.
Just because you're a mod doesn't mean you have divine power, and what you like is good and what you hate is the worst and will die.
Let me get a drink for that.
Oh, yes.
And because you had to tell people off maybe once or twice doesn't mean that you're a bad guy. That's part of the reason why we do this. We'd love to get Meester on here because he seems like an awesome laid-back guy, and not everyone agrees with that.
Actually, he's really laid back. If it was up to me, a lot of people would have been banned along. No, seriously, you guys have no idea how good you have since Mister came in, dude. People get second chances. There's they started this whole tier thing. It used to be that was kind of up to mod discretion, and I think it should be to a certain extent. But now you have the tiers, and people know where to not cross the line a little bit, because they know how to push it. But Mister gives a lot of chances to people. He's a lot of people assume that he's an asshole, but no, he isn't. You have not anyone here who here was at the beginning of Film Fiction?
I didn't join until 2014.
All right, so you guys miss Poltron, me, and a whole bunch of other a couple of other moderators, just literally tracking down on people at the time. I might be listed as by some people as their favorite mod or whatever, but we were not pulling our punches back then, and half the time right now. I feel kind of Clint Eastwood yelling at the millennials or something. You know, like, you little kids, you're pussies, you're all of you pussies. But you know, like
man.
it's you know, you have it, you know, like a lot of like they don't appreciate it because they don't know like how it was back then. I mean, and I'm not saying it's wrong now. I mean, I think you know, like I think a lot of times it's better that way because you know, like we don't just like react. But yeah, no, it's like you know, you can't be. I mean, I guess you can't be upset because you know, like whatever happened, but you know, like you can't say that Mister is an asshole or like rain down on him as if he's like the worst thing that plagues you know, like fan fiction with all the chances he gives people, everyone. No,
Well, all I know is that Meester approved my very first story, which was Sea of Troubles, and those of you who have read that understands why I have a very lot of sympathy for him. So,
Yeah,
nice
I
guy.
Meester's a really cool guy from what I can tell, and I don't think everyone gets to see quite behind the veil like a bunch of people do, and that's one of the things I really like that we get to do with this podcast. And I'm not going to make you show too much of what's behind the curtain. But that said, if you have any humorous stories that don't delve into sensitive film fiction topics that concern mods or concern site happenings or something you guys had to gather the round table and discuss as a site event, I would love to hear about it.
After that, we should get the mod dicks out of our mouth and move on to the next question. But let's go on.
let me think about it. I'll get back to you on that one, and let me take a shot.
Oh,
Works
yes,
for me. Then let's go down the questions.
Right.
Let's see. Do you have any waifus?
Chrysalis and Octavia. I had a whole list of them actually.
You've got the wifiest of waifus right there.
You still did well.
Yeah.
So let's see. Next question is: did Pencil try to kidnap you to appear here, or was she too afraid of you using the banhammer for self-defense?
Terrified, by the way. But go on.
You know, listening to her talk, I could be I could be kidnapped by her anytime.
Oh, okay.
Remember, we have your daughter.
Yeah, it's all right. I can deal with it.
Alrighty, next question. Is it true that the banhammer is actually an intercontinental ballistic missile with a range of over 1,600 kilometers? That's 10,000 miles for those of you in the Americas. That automatically targets the location of the offending IP address.
I cannot confirm nor deny that.
Oh, good
Very
job.
fair. Now we're going to go to some questions from Catalyst Cradle. The first question is: will we ever see more of Mango Leaf?
I want to. I don't know. I mean, I have to check if I can actually publish those stories now.
If you can actually publish those stories?
Well, the thing is, you know, like I never got, like I never actually cleared that out. You know, like I think some people have, but I want to make sure because the bottom line is, yes, bottom line. You know, like if I start just publishing whatever just because I'm a moderator, then you know, like I should be banned. So you know, like Mango Leaf is my OC character from the OC Slam Jam, and you know, like I had a couple of good stories, and I wanted to add more into it, but I want to make sure that you know, like if I publish those stories, that it's you know, it works with the site rules. So if it does, I might actually finish up the extra stories and publish the whole thing.
Alrighty. Paragon or Renegade?
Renegade.
Good
Ooh.
man. Well, bad man, but I mean, it's all
it's being bad for good.
Correct. Now we got some questions from Manafi or Manify. I don't know. I keep messing that up.
I always say Manafi.
Manafi, perfect.
Manafi it is.
Who is best princess? I think you said Luna.
Yes.
Perfect.
Well, I mean, unless you consider Twilight, you know, it's considered Chimera Princess by now.
Nope.
Which you should.
Nope. Nope.
Luna is like from the confirmed ones at least. I think Luna.
Correct answer.
Alrighty. We already talked about what you want to see in season 7.
Mm-hmm.
So, what Pokemon game is your favorite?
Mystery Dungeon.
Really? That's not one I hear often.
I just, you know, I like the concept of the Mystery Dungeon series. So, you know, it's a fun one. It's a different type of Pokemon game. So,
Funny thing is, you talked about hating display stories, yet in a way, it's kind of a display story, Pokemon mystery, because you show up as a Pokemon.
In a way, but it's more like a human in Equestria story, though.
True,
Well,
and that's
yeah.
very respectable.
It's a very different thing from a display story, because if you were, like, it's kind of like saying, if you go to Equestria, you'll turn up as a unicorn. Fine, I mean, that's agreeable. But if you go to Equestria and you appear as like Galactus, like, I think you have issues.
Right, fair.
Like, I think there's a sense of, like, feeling that you need to be important somehow or something. Like, I mean, it's just different, and it's still not Galactus. It's not like you appear and you're Galactus. It's like the shell of Galactus with the mind of someone that doesn't really matter.
It's the difference between a well-defined character and a goodness me,
And a goodness me, that's fine.
Yes. Now we're going to go to a question from Vlade.
All right.
Suck.
Sometimes. I don't know. Who, when, how.
That's probably the fastest answer we've ever had to that question. Most people blink and are like, wait, suck. Wait, what do you mean? What? So good job. You actually had an answer ready. I'm proud of you.
The fact that it's misspelled throws so many people off.
Duke? Isn't that right, Priest?
That's correct. Pencil, would you be able to take over questions for just a moment?
Sure thing. All right. So now we're moving on to questions from Davy Floor. And actually, the first question here is one I'm very curious about because it relates to me. What are your honest thoughts and or opinions on the use of Anonymous as a character?
I mean, like, when it started happening, generally speaking, I wasn't very fond of it. I still don't read anon stories, but I kind of like just stopped caring at one point. I mean, I don't see I wasn't very sure what was going on with the anonymous character, which is why I wasn't very keen on it. But in the end, it's just it's better than Displaced.
That helps me. That makes me feel better. If you said it was worse than Displaced, I would actually be a little.
I mean, because I heard I heard that Anonymous has like a certain type of character that people try to stick to. So in a way, like, I can deal with it. I can live with that. That's not, I mean, I don't have anything invested in the character, but it, like, at least it's supposed to have like a generally accepted set of traits.
That's not entirely true. Mostly because I write Anon specifically, and I know Priest does as well, and I think he and I both do one thing in particular with it, where really Anon is just a name. The character has a definite personality to them, usually. Like
I said, it's kind of like a human in Equestria. It's just like the guy's name Anon. Like, there's really, there's really nothing to it that's different from human Equestria.
Agreed. It's just a lot of people get rubbed the wrong way by Anon, which is fine. If that name bothers you so much, that's great. I just think it's hilarious when people rage out. They're like, "It's so lazy." I'm like, "It's not." Well, okay, sure. Have fun. Pat, pat. On your way.
I mean, I guess it's better than naming the character Bob. I don't know. I mean, it's just,
Yeah, I don't think a name's all that important. Yeah. If you're naming your character Raven Huntervines, I'm gonna have to smack you across your face anyway. So I'd rather.
There's plenty of reasons to smack someone around for naming a character that.
Exactly. That's.
Can he be Steve from State Farm?
I would like to see
It's Jake,
State
you
Farm
fucking pleb. Jake from State Farm. Get it right.
I would like to see Jake from State Farm in Equestria. Somebody write this for me. I need this in my life.
Oh wait, Rob
Anyway,
Kicker has been like writing shit.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm waiting to for Priest to ask the next question because it's my job. Yeah. Have you ever considered writing an HIE story before?
I already did.
Really? What story?
Yeah. Wonder D in Equestria, the human experiment.
Wait, to self-insert?
Yeah.
Are we allowed to do that, the rest of us, or is it just you?
No, that was before the ban, so it got grandfathered through.
Oh shit! So you got lucky.
I did get lucky. I had to, I had to actually ask Knight if it was okay to finish it. So, but because he allowed other people to finish their own, human Equestria self-insertion kind of thing. The thing is, though, Wonder D, the human Equestria is at the time when I wrote it, it was like me taking the piss out of the genre, and everything that I did is still applicable, which is the sad thing. Like it's making fun of all the shit that I saw that people were doing. There was one point, like I don't remember who wrote it, and if he's listening, I don't care. But like this guy wrote a story where like instead of describing what his character had, he posted a list of pictures of what his character had. Like he came, it was a soldier in Equestria kind of thing, and like he had like pictures of grenades and very specific equipment and stuff, and I thought it was so disgusting and so pointless and so stupidly lazy that I had to do it. So I did it in one of the chapters.
Well, there you go. Sometimes being angry about what somebody else has done prompts you to make something better.
Yeah, I mean, like Terry Pratchett wrote because he was angry all the time, if you believe Neil Gaiman. So, it was honestly, it was just taking a piss out of it, and it turned out to be a really fun experience because I die in every single chapter. But
as you should, because when you have a human equestria, the best way to end it is with the main character dying over and over again. Obviously.
Yeah, no, like I died like every single time for different reasons. Like the first time I suppose in that story I appear in as a human and I die. Then because the princesses won't actually trust me with magic or actual powers, they turn me into an earth pony. And then because I died again, they decided I need a little bit more protection, so they turned me into Pegasus. And then I died again, so they turned me into a unicorn. And then I died again. And I think at one point I got turned into one of those weird Gijinka types. So it was humanized with pony ears and shit. And I go ballistic and I die. And I get turned into princess because there's no way, like, you cannot be a Nalicorn and be male. So I bang Big Mac.
I'm proud of you. Good job.
And then I die. Yeah, it's a fun like getting killed story all the time. I think I get turned into fish once. It's weird.
Fantastic. Then I have one more question for you, and this is very important. And I think Priest, you'd like to take over when I'm done? Maybe
yeah,
not.
that'd be wonderful.
Okay. This is a very important question, and I will judge you.
Okay.
So, how do you like your steak?
Mooing.
What was mooing?
Yeah.
You can stay. You can stay forever. You did good. Good job.
Did you just wander into a field? Do you just wander onto a field and just take a bite out of a cow?
Like let me put it like I would honestly, except like the hide is a little bit tight, like kind of like tough. But like I had friends from Argentina that like there was this one time that we went eating together to a steakhouse, and in Argentina apparently you have to like the only way to eat steak is like well done, and I was like, why didn't you just order the damn chicken if you want it well done? Yeah. But so I ordered mine. I was like, just like I wanted red and cold in the center, like just green like that. And and they were just like giving me these horrified looks, but like that's the only real way to taste the quality of the steak.
Oh yes, that's how you're supposed to do it. Yes,
it's
yes,
totally
yes.
true.
Scotch without ice and steak that's still bleeding. You can stay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So there is no chupacabra killing our livestock. It's just you getting hungry, Wanderer D.
And gnawing under years.
Truth.
Although to be honest with you, I have never actually eaten like goat meat that's not cooked at least medium well.
I've had medium goat meat actually, and it was really really tasty. But it was like it was made a very specific way, and it was in an Indian place, and it was just flawless. I've never had anything like that since.
Barbacoa, like the Mexican style barbacoa, that's pretty good stuff.
Oh hell yes, yeah. I'm up in the Bay Area of California, so we have that shit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Alrighty, now we got a question from Sleepy Panda. What do you think is the weirdest story you have ever written?
It's either also hi Sleepy Panda. It's let's see. It's either Wanderer D in Equestria or a story I wrote a long time ago about Doctor Strange and the Silver Surfer. I don't remember exactly how it went, but it had to do with a lot of like, oh yeah, it was like turn the X-Men into Pokemon. But because like the thing is like if like I haven't actually, I don't remember what the deal was, but like it was a one shot for sure though. But it was like it was Thanos was fighting. Oh yeah, okay. So here's the deal. So Doctor Strange insulted the god Thoth, who sent like cosmic rays at him, like some sort of weird magic, which he avoided, but it like kind of like burst out of like the earth and like and hit the butt of the Silver Surfer, who was at that time fighting Thanos, and like the reflection of the magic like galactic powers and like his shiny ass, like just like showered down on a warehouse where the X-Men were fighting, and they turned into Pokemon.
Did Wolverine turn into a Sandslash?
Yes.
Oh my god, I got it right.
Yep.
Wow.
Stop encouraging Enigma.
You really need to.
No,
Like,
I'm not
or else
making. I'm not making up. Like, Charles Xavier got turned into Mewtwo. Like Jubilee got turned. I don't remember what she got turned into.
Well,
But
just do us a favor and tell Enigma he's shit.
No.
You're
It's
shit,
fine.
bro. I don't know.
I
Wanderer
now
D.
have Wanderer D saying that Enigma's shit. This is because
I don't know. I actually don't know Enigma, so I cannot actually say that with like. I'm just basing this off of your friends. If your friends say so, I don't know.
But Wanderer, tú y yo somos hermanos.
Pero eso no cambia las cosas, mi estimado.
Oh no.
Oh no! What have you done?
Did we share what story it was that Enigma wrote, or
yeah, he wrote that story with Ember with the dragon tits called "You Were Supposed to Slay the Dragon, Not Lay It."
Why would you slay a dragon if you can lay it?
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Oh, God damn it.
Okay, all right.
Next
Now we've got
next
some.
question.
We have some fun questions from Professor Plum.
Hey.
First of all, why are you so mad, bro?
Because I've been drinking and I've been like talking about freaking displays, bro.
And the next question is also, why were you taking pictures of me in my sleep?
Have you looked at yourself in the mirror?
Okay, story time. What happened?
All right, so we rented a room in like for BronyCon, and Plum was there in the room, asleep. So I naturally thought, it would be funny to take pictures of him asleep, so I could just give them to other people, and it became kind of like a running gag because he became aware of it at some point, and I just I wasn't going to do more, but when he started getting annoyed, I decided it was the best thing to do. And so I kept doing it until one time where we crashed at Captain Chrysalis' room because like everyone else was like passed out in our room in the original hotel. And I took a picture and he just started shouting. Well, he didn't shout at me, but he just went like, "Fuck you, man."
I love when you do that.
D. Like he was asleep and he heard the click of the camera and he just woke up from that and was like, "Fuck you, D." So yeah, that was the last one. But he's pretty.
Pretty man. Good to know.
Yeah.
I will.
Well, you haven't seen him?
No,
I don't know if you still have pictures of him like asleep.
Wait, I have
Please
not
share.
seen these fabled pictures.
Please share. With the accent, if he's also a pretty man, I mean that's the entire package.
No,
What
like
more
that's
do
the
you
thing.
need?
Like if you've heard Plum talk, I mean you have because you interviewed him, but like like he looks like he sounds.
Well,
He really
sounds-
does. We've been able to see him on Seattle's Angels along with our Connix, who has the next few questions. But yeah.
Interesting.
All right. So what are the next questions?
Here we
Our
go.
Connix has the next question. What scotch do you want to try next?
Well, I have to blame. You guys remember Coffee? What's it? Coffee Grunt? What is his name? Well, the guy that wrote that really famous, like, well, maybe you guys don't know it, the original Tabby Scratch Vic.
Oh goodness. I feel like I know the story you're talking about, but I don't know the author.
University days?
No, fuck that shit. That is like that.
Wow.
No,
Black and white?
bad Rob. Was that bad? Was that Rob? It sounded like
Black
Rob.
and
That was Rob.
Yeah.
Bad Rob. Bad. University days. I have, I know there's people that like it. To me, it was like completely overblown.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was. Damn it! I can't believe I forgot. Well, anyway, the one thing that I retained out of that was that he mentioned a couple of bottles of whiskey, and there's this whiskey called Isle of Jura that I that
Yes.
I did some research into, and basically, I tried one of theirs. Like I finished the bottle a long time ago, and I really liked it. It was a young Scotch. Actually, it was like 16 years old, which is really young for Scotch whiskey, but it was really good. It was really good. So I want to try a few of the other ones that they have.
I feel like I just heard the moment where you just won Pencil's heart.
Oh, it's so good. Anyway.
The next question from Arconix is: would you like to try it on his farm?
Yes. Like
There you go.
Arconix is like an awesome gentleman to have like Scotch with, and actually, I guess him and Plum are the only two people I've talked to that can make like crack jokes about like British government system and actually get it. So it brings good memories back from when I was in the UK. So plus, like I always love to visit like his place. I mean, it's probably pretty awesome.
There's, by the way, Vocal Rhapsody in our chat would like to inform you that the title of the story is Ponies Drink Ura.
That's not the actual title of the story, but
Huh.
no. This is an old story. This is like the original Scratch Tavia.
Okay.
But you're a what?
Oh my
But-
God, no, Enigma, no,
But I'm a
bad
what?
Enigma, no.
I didn't get that. Sorry.
He was making a bad joke about Ura. Sounds like you are a bad person kind of thing. It's like, wait, so you're a what?
I'm a shit person. It's fine.
Perfect. You'll fit in right in. You'll fit
Some
in
men
right
are
in.
breast
Wow,
people,
wow.
some men are ass people.
Look,
He's-
let me put it this way. I feel like I'm sort of infamous in a weird way because I actually like I met these guys over at BronyCon last year, and the first thing that they told me was like we thought you would be a tyrant. So I kind of used to it by now.
a tyrant? You sure they didn't say we thought you would be a drug lord?
No, I wasn't a drug lord.
Well, that's part of the reason why we do this podcast, is so that way everyone can see what people are really like. A lot of people didn't think Aragon would actually speak for 100
And
miles
he
a minute.
did at length.
But anyway, the next question, last question
Allegressa.
from
Was it Allegressa? No, is that it?
Allegrezza?
Alex Tracio.
No, Allegressa.
They're asking if that's the name.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Huh, good job.
I think so. I know entirely. I don't remember. Like, I mean, to be honest, this is like a fanfic from like 2011. So, or wait. Like, it's just like there's a whole bunch of them that like I'm looking at trying to figure out if that was it. But, yeah. I don't know.
Next question.
All right, final question from Arconix is: when you finally own that bar, can I get a tab?
Yes.
Perfect. Next question is from Violon, and it's a distressing question for me to read because
Everybody loves Phylon. Anyway.
Violon's been missing a little bit, and we miss her. But
Okay,
she
so I
asked,
have to
"Will you
say-
ban her? Or do you just ban people on request?"
I can ban her if she wants to.
No.
Please don't.
But-
Violon, come
Mylon,
home.
please come home. We miss you.
Please don't go, Phylon.
She's been kind of just gone for the last 5 days. We all miss her very much.
Fair enough. But yeah, no,
Still
like
no?
you can actually request to be banned. Like for sure, you can. I mean,
Just from you, or is this with any mod we can ask?
any mod. Like, I mean, like just let me put it this way though. If you're just doing it to get a kick out of it, you're not going to, like it's not going to fly. But like if you like if you decide that you want to move on or whatever, and you just want to get banned or whatever, that'll happen.
Yeah, that's
Like just bear in mind that you'll have to appeal for like the ban to be lifted.
Mhm.
Also
like,
drink.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Yep.
Alrighty, now we go to a question from some loser called Enigmatic Otaku.
He
Oh,
sounds
never
like
heard
a
of him.
Sounds like a swell dude, if you ask
No.
me.
Sounds pretentious. I bet he hasn't even watched Evangelion.
What a
So-
pro.
Oh man, talk about pretentiousness.
Yeah.
He asks, did we use a master ball to catch you for this podcast?
I'll reference to your Latio picture right, Latias picture right here.
No, you didn't.
Now we have
like you need more like you need a combination of Pokemon and specific Pokeballs to catch Latias.
Alrighty. Now we're going to go to questions from someone really awesome who goes by the name of Rob Cakern53.
I heard he's an
Robbie
asshole.
Cakes. I forgot. I shouldn't call him Robbie Cakes. I'm sorry.
Don't
No,
call
he's
him
an
Robbie.
he's an awesome dude.
He really is.
He's an awesome dude. All right. So what's the questions?
First question is, when will you ever get the carbon packs for your car so it's more environmentally friendly?
I don't know. Are you still going to keep that filter that you tore off out of my car?
It's still on the shelf, waiting there, and I put your name on it and everything. It's just there.
All right. When I have $14 to spare.
Perfect.
We can contribute that to our Patreon.
There's a story if you guys want to hear the story.
Tell
Yes.
the story.
Okay, so one of the first times Wandering D came to my house, I have a pole barn with a car hoist and all that fancy dancy bullshit. And he's having issues with this car putting gas in it. And I already know what it is. There's this filter that when you put gas in the car, it filters the fumes and the carbon builds up. And over time it builds up, and it plugs. And then when you go to fill the car, it won't let gas in because it keeps backing up. So I'm like, well, fuck that. Your car is a 2000. It's old. It's a Hyundai. It should be dead by now.
Hey, 2003.
Same difference. So I just tore that bitch out in the driveway, and I said, "There you go. Your problem solved."
Okay. Don't put it like that. You had to YouTube the video though.
There's a video?
No, he YouTube the video how to do it. I mean he knew what he needed to do, but he had to confirm on video how to.
Oh well, yeah, of course, but I still fucking ripped it out.
Yes, you did.
So is this like the surgeon equivalent of him putting you under the knife, but right before he puts the gas on you, he looks up a video?
No. I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. I was distracted. I was drawing a Pokemon on like the little thing, and you spoke.
And then we had
Good
to
job.
Sorry.
Like into your back seat.
Oh yeah, we did have to do that. Which it worked out. It worked.
Alrighty, we'll go to the
And
next
then
question.
I didn't get to help you build that corral for the horse though.
A
Anyway,
corral
yeah,
for the
yeah.
horse? For the horse? WHORES?
That's what I
Horse.
heard. I
Yeah,
heard for the
that's
horse as well.
exactly for the horses. For the horses.
Not the
Okay.
Not
What was the next?
horses.
What was the next question?
Let's see. Robbie Cakes asks, why must you match me drink for drink every time you go out?
It's not that I'm matching him. It's just that I drink just like more than he does. So
Ooh, that sounds like a challenge.
Ooh.
no, I mean he's drinking and I'm just drinking, and it just so happens that he'll drink something that I think at the time sounds good, and then I'll just drink it too.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean it's not a competition unless you make it one, Rob.
Is it a competition, Rob?
No, not really, because I try to be a good boy, and I stick the four shots.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Next moment. Wow.
Next
Question.
moment.
Um,
Wow.
Rob asks, also, have you ever had an awkward moment when someone just calls you D out in public? Like, hey, D! Do they think it's some form of innuendo, or maybe that you're bad at math?
No, actually, but I have had some at work. There's a guy. His name is Diego, and they call him D. Like his brother calls him D. He shortens everyone's names. So like a couple of times, we've been there, and he's just like, "Hey D," and I just showed out what, and my name doesn't start with a D, so everyone is like really confused as to what's going on.
Who's D? It was me, Dio.
Oh, God,
no.
stop with your memes.
Hold on, let me refill.
Attaboy.
All right, we'll see if we can redeem ourselves.
Next question, Praise. Fucking next question.
If you cut a potato in half, leaving the first half with skin, and mash it, with the second half, peel it and slice it for French fries, what is the square root if the potato was actually square in shape and not in the shape of a horse turd?
That would be the root that I took away from the potato to start cutting it.
Hey.
Hey.
Ah.
Now we have questions from RK Strider JK5. When did you start writing fanfic?
94.
94. What was your first fanfic? Like what?
I think it was Road Rovers, or or
Really?
Sailor Moon.
Road Rovers, as in the fucking cartoon with the
Yeah.
dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
It
that.
could have actually been that or Sailor Moon. I don't remember.
I
Oh,
could have
wow.
sworn you said Road Rubbers.
No, I knew exactly what you're talking. Like Road Rovers.
No,
as
Road
in,
Rovers.
like,
Yeah.
one with muzzle.
It was Hunter, Colleen, Blitz. Road Rovers taught me that Russian song.
The Russian song, which is
Yeah.
Son
With-
of a Beach, which actually got
Yeah,
them
Sonovich. Yeah, they had to pull it. They had to replace the song because like they got away with saying that on national TV.
for kids.
So yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And like it was just like it was a silly cartoon. It was at the time Freakazoid was a thing, and Animaniacs.
I love him. I love all of the '90s cartoons. God damn it.
I watched a lot of cartoons back then. I still remember the whole lyrics for Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, and
Chip and Dale.
yeah.
No, for
But you
me,
have to start it.
for me,
You
it was
have to start it.
Tailspin.
You have to start it properly. It's like sometimes some crimes go slipping through the cracks. I don't have like a singing voice, but yeah, I know the whole thing.
That the other one that everyone that you have to sing when it comes on, no matter what, is DuckTales. Like,
DuckTales, you have to sing, yeah.
if that theme comes on, one does not simply refuse to sing DuckTales.
It's like walking into Mordor. You don't simply do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember Tailspin as well. Was pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go to
Around that
questions
time,
from
94, 95.
Yeah.
Question from Cherish, because we already kind of answered the D right outside of the LP franchise. You mentioned Road Rovers and Sailor Moon. So, Cherish asks, number one, can deaf people drown?
Yes.
Yes. There you go.
Number two, is Mike Snipe actually black, or is it just some kind of Sharpie work?
I have
I don't know.
no clue who that is.
Milk, are you black? That answers that.
Mike, are you gonna
Oh.
actually, Mike Snipe? Are you actually gonna change your name to Milk on FimFic anytime soon?
I already tried. Somebody already has the name. Some little 14-year-old who hasn't done anything with the account in forever.
Then rename yourself Whole Milk.
No.
You could make it 2 words: Milk Space Snipe.
No. That would be a bastardization of my actual name. Never.
All right.
Alrighty. What is your favorite type of Alabama wind chime? I don't know what
You
that is.
realize what that means, right, Priest?
No, I don't.
Oh
does that mean?
God, you would not have asked that question if you knew what it meant.
I don't know what that means.
The term Alabama wind chime. Am I really going to explain this on this cast? Okay, I guess I'm doing that. The term
We're
Alabama
18
wind
plus. We
chime
can get away
is
with
a-
stuff. Ponyville Live looks the other way.
It's a derogatory term for the fact that in Alabama, black people get lynched, and so a bunch of black people lynched on a tree are known as Alabama wind chimes.
Oh,
Gee. Okay.
well. Let's go to questions from Lisa Claire, because Lisa always asks nice things.
Well, there's one other question which I think is appropriate, which is
Why does my arm shake and convulse whenever I eat paint?
It's not the paint; it's the questions.
It's the lead.
Oh, I love it. Thank you.
I work with lead, so trust me, the convulsing is lead. But it's okay. You just learn to accept it and embrace it. Just bite a dirty sock and it will until it goes out. Then you're good.
I hear the flakes go pretty good with milk.
Okay. I never tried them,
Okay,
so.
Please.
Now Lisa Claire asks, what is your secret? Shh. All right. Now we go to Alex _ who asks, what happened to Wanderers A, B, and C?
They tried, but everyone wanted the D.
Hey, it's all about D. D's nuts.
I have to ask. Yeah, I have to ask an appropriate question. Do you refer to your genitals as D's nuts?
Oh man, I haven't actually seen that one yet.
I'm only like 10% sorry about that.
All right.
Alrighty. Now we have questions from Celtic Fire. What do you? We'll start with D, and then everyone else can chime in. They ask for everyone on the cast, but guest always gets first pick. What are your opinions on the new character tags that Nighty added to the site? Do you think it's a good or a bad change?
There's new character tags.
Yeah.
Don't bullshit that. Don't bullshit character tags.
Hey, Monochromatic has a story. Nice. Sorry, got distracted. Well, I mean, it was due. You know, it's a good thing. You know that, like, I think there was one in particular that I actually liked. Like, I really liked the fact that he did. Hold on, let me randomly click on someone's story and click edit, and then see the things over here. There was one. Like, I mean, I'm not going to do anything to them. It's just like to see the background, like the list of what is this.
Okay, I was like, wow, that's invasive, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Don't say like
there's self-insert. You know, like anon, and I mean, anon was questionable to me, but whatever. I don't know if it really needed a tag, but I guess it's popular enough.
I can talk about that for 2 hours.
I was going to talk about that after, so.
I think you know, like, I think it's a good thing in general. I mean, you know, like at the least, you know, like, you get to you know, like put more, like, be more clear with which characters are in your story, and you know, like at best, you know, like, you can actually, you know, like, edit out a lot of stuff that you don't want to see when you're searching. So that's my take on it.
Definitely.
You want to talk about it, Priest, or would you like me to say something quick first?
No, you go ahead. I think we're probably going to cover the same thing, so please go ahead.
Honestly, I know that there is a lot of anon hate, and it's one thing that Priest recently wrote about at my behest. And there is a lot of anon hatred, and with this tag, it allows people who don't like anon to avoid it. So we're not gonna have people coming in and going, "Oh my god, I hate this story because it has anon." Like, they can just freaking skip the fucking story. And if they come in now, they have no excuse. Like, you saw the fucking tag, you read it anyway. You're a bitch. Like, you can just do that. It's easy enough. So I really like that. I also like a couple of the other tags that were added. I'm glad we got more changeling tags. I'm glad we got some more Equestria Girls tags. It honestly, it was way overdue. So far back that we didn't even have a yak tag yet. So it needed to happen. I'm very, very happy, and I'm very happy that it has a tag that is relevant to almost all of my stories.
Though I do have an interesting question. If you purposely tag your story as a self-insert, is that trolling?
No, it's just an invitation for downvotes.
One of mine is tagged with self-insert, so there you go. What now, Priest?
Well, then I need to shut my face. We have questions from Chat Penguin Lips, who is a group contributor on the Good HA list. Okay. We'll go through his many questions as quickly as we can.
By the way, hold on, Priest. I love that we said this, and I spoke, and you totally didn't ask Enigma his opinion or Milk.
Nobody cares about Enigma.
Oh, it's okay. A mí me importa, mi hermano. Go ahead, say it.
No, it's all about D here, and I went and I checked the time, and we have 25 minutes and a lot of questions.
I know. The only thing I will say is, Enigma, are you happy that there is Ember?
Yep. I mean, if you click the Ember tag, mine is like the top of it right there. So I'm a happy man.
Yeah, shill hard, or you fucking Patreon slut. Anyway.
Your niece sounds excited too. So, D, number one, Latios was better.
Latios is dead.
Number two was Latios was better.
Latios is dead.
And number three is Latios was better. Latios didn't die for the entire continent of Italy. Now, did he? I think not.
Well, she lived for the rest of it.
Aw. I don't know anything about Pokemon, so I'm just going with this.
It's okay.
Number four. If someone asks you what you are on the site, which are you first, a writer or a moderator?
Drinking
writer. A drinking writer.
A drinking writer. I like it.
Yep.
Number five.
That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
Oh, that reference.
Yes.
We're gonna be good friends, D. Number 5. What is the stupidest, craziest, funniest thing you've done with Rob?
I am ready for whatever this is.
Driving
Do it.
drunk around in someone else's car, shooting a gun while trying to put on top. What was it? Like something we found in someone's backyard or front yard. Yeah.
Oh, the filing cabinet. Okay.
Yeah, the filing cabinet.
What
That's
the
what it
fuck
was.
happened here?
See, I was really drunk, but if this is D. If D wants to tell it, I'll let him.
Nah, it's okay because we only have like 20 minutes. Come on, carry on.
Okay. So we're at the bar, fucking drinking, and we're leaving, right? And we're all bad. Me, Zirian, and Wander D. So, of course, Zirian drives, and we're like, okay, how do we get back to my house? And I'm like, well, we'll take the back road so we don't get in trouble or get caught by the cops, because I know the cops where they sit. And as we're driving around these dirt roads, flying through, and I'm like, oh, hey, guys, want to see something cool? And I pull up my 45 and start popping out the window.
What the fuck?
And poor Durian, I keep forgetting, is of African ethnicity. So he freaked out.
He freaked out, man. He was like a little girl. He was like, ah! That's amazing.
So he's freaking out as I'm reholstering. Never mind the fact that I had a 45 in the bar, and we're going for a little bit, and then we stop. I'm like, guys, there's a filing cabinet in the trash, and we're driving a little Chevy Cruze, and this is like a full-scale 4-drawer filing cabinet. And we're trying to figure out how to strap this to the roof of this car, all schnockered, and with gunpowder residue on my hands still, and we're trying to figure out. He's like, oh my god, you're gonna scratch my car. And after like 10 minutes, we gave up and drove back to my house.
But it was fun, it was I guess it fits the question.
That is brilliant.
Love it.
Welcome
I
to
had
the
to mute
country.
myself because I was laughing so hard.
Welcome to the country, boyos. Come to my house.
Oh man.
Back to D, though.
Now, okay. Let's see. On a scale of 1 to 10, this is question number 6. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the boner Pencil is giving you right now?
I don't know if 1 to 10 covers it.
Well now.
I'm a bit confused here. Is she making you erect, or is she already erect and she's giving you that?
Both?
10 dog dicks out of 10.
So what's the next one?
Number 7. What do site mods look for when selecting users to story approve and moderate and the like?
Someone that's not toxic to the community before they become a moderator.
Alrighty.
That actually makes a lot of sense. I could see why trying to keep your community from getting toxic would be your main priority in any of this.
Well, the thing is, you have to at least. It doesn't matter if people agree with you 100% of the time, because they shouldn't. But it's the way you present things. So if you're like an asshole while you're arguing your point, if you have one, you're not going, and then start saying I could do a better job. That's never going to land you a job as a moderator. Because there's times when you want to do something, but because it's against the rules, you can't, and you have to respect that, and you have to work as part of a team. And if you feel like you're better than everyone else, then you're not going to do it.
I think that's really fair, and it's actually applicable to just being a good person. Like that applies to anything in a job or collaborations, anything.
Gracious, spot on that one, yeah.
Mm.
Anyway, let's see. Number 8. So what do you think of your comments on the video where you and Alex go around beating poor innocent people into a snazzy Spanish tune?
I think it's an awesome video, and it should be shared more often.
The banned from film fiction video.
It's funny.
Yeah, for those who have not seen it, it's there. It is sitting right now, in the question thread in the Good HIE list. Go watch it. It's really entertaining.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's really, really funny to me.
Is there context behind that video, like how it got made, or?
I didn't even know what was. Someone just posted it, and it was pretty funny. So, and then people started posting that. I think I don't necessarily like that. Sometimes some people post it on pages of of certain individuals when they get banned, but I can't control that.
Well, that just kind of ties into film fiction drama. We aren't going to talk about specific users that got banned
I think it's
reasons,
funny, but you have to have you just think about it a little before you start throwing that at people.
Context.
Because they will get they can get like offended and hurt by it. I mean, offended I don't care that much, but like there's people that like it's kind of unfair to just like throw that shit around.
Fair enough. We'll quickly get through the next question because it's a priest and pencil.
We got time, priest. We'll make it. We'll make it.
Who calls who daddy and why is it pencil?
No.
No.
We don't call each other parent names because neither of us wants to fuck our parent. Though there was that awkward time where we were saying goodnight to each other and priest said goodnight, mom, and we both went really quiet and awkward, and we were actually like, okay, let's talk about this.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, that's on a podcast. So let's go to Redshirt 47, who asks you, D, what's with the Pokemans?
I don't know what a Pokemon is.
Ooh.
Pokemon. I don't know. Now, like, I mean, in all seriousness, I just liked it. Like, the thing is, if you think about what a moderator does, doing in the original picture, it kind of makes sense. You have to have like some sort of like sadistic sense of humor, and you do have kind of like the power to like literally burn everyone around you. So,
right,
it was a carefully considered avatar.
Fair enough.
Are you sometimes a shiny wanderer, D?
I'm always a shiny wanderer, D.
All right. Next question is: what is your favorite way to screw with message you nonstop? That is what it says.
I would like clarification of what this actually mean.
I have no idea. Does this mean what is your favorite way to screw with people by messaging them nonstop, or like does it mean that you screw with the messaging, or what's the best way to screw with you?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
No context behind this question. So
Redshirt, usually you're spot on with your questions, but this is actually confusing. So good luck with your life.
You should consider finding a group that is isolated to finding how to write good stories and consider learning from them.
Ooh.
Oh gosh, that was mean.
Brutal.
I love you, Redshirt. Now we have questions from Snuffy.
Okay.
Number one, were Chrysalis daughters in the Three Sisters series inspired by someone you know?
No.
Alrighty.
I made them up. Like I just like wanted personality traits that it could conflict, and that's what happened.
Alrighty. Number two, do you have any fun moments to share about moderating the site?
It's always a nightmare.
I can totally see that on this site, actually.
I mean, like the thing is, you have to take certain things with humor, but there's stuff that I don't know. I mean, I can't think of a good one, to be honest. That's actually funny. That does not affect perception of users in some way or sort. I mean, like a lot of it has to be. You have to be a little bit cynical about, but I don't know.
I think that's really key. It's always you don't want to say any jokes that harm other specific users unless it's Enigma, because that's part of our thing here.
Yeah,
Don't.
He knows it. It's okay.
Rob, we're ignoring you.
Like I mean, like to be like in every place, like like if you work IT, like you make fun of users. Like if you're moderating a site, sometimes like a user will send something that's like freaking hilarious, but like there's specific. I think most of them are specific enough that they will like be like identified, and I don't want to like put anyone in that position.
Right. Fair. Let's see. So number 3, we got more tags, but when will we get more emojis?
I have no idea. Like that. Like honestly, emojis themselves haven't been brought up that much at on the background. So probably if we get anything, it's going to be until Genfic.
Okay.
And is Genfic happening?
Yes.
All right, that you heard it here first, guys. It is. So
if you ever get in touch with the powers that be, that is Nighty, let him know. We'd love to have him on and hear more about Genfic.
Well, we actually would. We really would love to have Nighty on here to talk to him.
I'll bring it up with him.
Okay.
Let's go.
Tell him we're nice and that we simper really, really well and that we curtsy when asked.
Number 4.
Please don't actually tell him that. Please don't tell him. I'm sorry. Please don't.
Too late.
Alrighty, number 4.
Surprised you guys didn't say that you're going to offer me to him.
I would be scared.
We have more respect than that.
Sure,
number 4. Do you have any guilty pleasures when it comes to ponies, like the Game Loft games or the Game Loft game?
I spend money. I spend monies on sculptures done
On the s-
by most like I think all of the ones I actually own were made by Dusty Sculptures. But yeah, that is my guilty pleasure because he's an awesome artist. I don't know if you ever saw the ones that he did for the Sweetie Chronicles, but he made this amazing scene where Sweetie Belle and Octavia are both playing their cellos, and it's like it was amazing. Just like taking them out of the package was like one of the best things.
Oh wow!
So I think Rob has seen the like I have a
Yeah.
box with like a lighted box with them inside.
It is fucking gorgeous. But I have to say, I'm sorry, the Game Loft game is shit compared to the puzzle game. So that is all.
There's a puzzle game.
Dude, the My Little Pony puzzle party game is actually really good.
Oh shit! Is it on mobile?
Yes.
Ooh.
It is like it's legit Hasbro, but it's got custom animation, custom voice actor voices and all that shit. It's really fucking good.
And it's with the original actresses too.
Yes, it's the original actresses.
Huh. Well, check it out.
I showed you that. Anyway, I'm gone again.
Actually, it wasn't you. It was Crystal.
Hush.
Go support our benevolent overlords. Speaking of benevolent overlords, number 5, Hasbro. Would you buy, sell, or hold?
Hold.
Perfect. Number 6, you get a job offer from Gentlemen for Mayors to work in Ponyville. Do you take it?
You know what? I would actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like I mean, I don't know how long, but you know, like I'm like I would love the chance to visit another world. Like it could be Kryn from Dragonlance. It could be, like Equestria or something. But like if that were a possibility, I don't care who hires me. I mean, as long as I can go there and have a good time for a little while or whatever,
Right. Fair enough. Number 7, if you could force someone to take that job for a year, who would it be?
Me.
Well, that answers.
Well, there we go. That works.
Is this a vocation?
What?
No, this isn't a vocation. This is a passion project.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well, just the title, Gentlemen for Mayors. It is a passion project.
That was an unintentional pun. Alrighty. Number 8. When will? Oh, I think this might be to the whole cast.
Oh, god damn it!
When will we get the? It needs to be 20% consensual story.
That's gonna follow me for the rest of my life, isn't it? I'm gonna be a non-20% consensual pencil. Like that's how it's gonna go. Fuck.
Well, now you know how Rob feels about My Little Dashie.
Oh,
I didn't even write a story. I was just on a podcast and I said that as far as like certain fics go, there may be like 20% consensual on a good day, and so it was like needs to be 20% more consensual. I was like, fuck, not what I meant. I could have picked any other percent. Damn it.
Fair enough.
There.
Alrighty, now we have some questions from Lunatone. What is your philosophy on just write it? Don't worry about perfecting everything on the first draft. Just get it done.
That's basically my motto. Like I know there's people that like to like have everything perfect, but when I've tried, it just stops me, and it's so hard to just like start building momentum again. Because like I said earlier, I write with the flow of it. So like like little things I will correct, but like if I start like editing in the middle of it, no, horrible thing.
Right, fair enough. Next question. If you were given the opportunity to be trapped inside Flutter Priest's closet for a day, what do you see what the day of life would you do it to see what the life of Priest is like?
Priest lives in my closet, just so you know.
Yeah.
Well,
I live in Pencil's closet.
Well, so I don't know. I don't think I would. I think I will have to respect Priest's privacy there.
Thank you. It's pretty cramped in here, and I don't have enough water to ration out to more than one person. I'm sorry.
Well, that and I honestly don't see why I would want to spend the day in anyone's closet. Like it's far too much time. Like if it's just like to hang out, no, thanks.
I mean, I'll just sit in the corner. I mean, you can have the rest of the room.
That's not the point.
So Priest, how comfortable are you? You know, bundled up with their sweaters and the skeleton.
There is a skull in my closet. I'm not gonna lie.
There definitely is an actual skull. You know, it's actually really nice. I formed a bed out of dresses. Oh wait, I was
You're sleeping on my dresses. I will kill you.
I'm sorry.
Are you gonna take away his
You're just
hamster wheel?
sleeping on them, right?
Let's move along to the next question.
All right.
Next question is: would you or Rob win in a drinking game?
I would.
I would lose so hard and believe.
I mean, I think like to be fair, like I think overall, you know, like like generally speaking, like on a weekly basis, I think Rob drinks more than I do, or he used to. But I think on a single night, I might be able to beat him.
No, I still fucking.
What?
Yes, like in a single session, you would beat me hardcore because yes, I would regret it. But no, on a weekly basis, I still drink way more, probably most ever.
You should stop that.
Yeah.
I should. But let's not get into that.
Ta-da!
Let's move away from real talk. Are you running or participating in any panels for BronyCon 2017 this year?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Can we have
Hopefully,
a hint about what that's about?
I am confirmed. Confirmed, quote unquote, because they haven't actually approved any. But I am going to be doing advanced writing, and I am going to be in the crossover panel, and that's as far as it goes. I'm not organizing crossovers, and I'm not going to organize anymore. Actually, I want, like, this reminds me, I need to write a blog, and people listening in, you guys should also think about making, like, organizing panels and trying to get the stuff that you want to be talked about at the convention.
Oh, we do. BabsCon.
Yeah,
There's
BabsCon.
panels.
I know. I'm not talking about you guys specifically, because I mean, you guys have your podcast, and you like clearly you're active. But I mean, like listeners, you know, like people in film fiction. You know, like there's a lot of, you know, like last BronyCon, I think I was in like 5 or 6 panels, which was fun, but it was really tiring, and it just made me realize, you know, like how how a small group of us is kind of like cornering the market there, and there's plenty of people that have a lot to say about stuff, and they just, you know, like either don't feel that they have the ability to do it, or just don't get the chance, or just, you know, or don't know that they have the opportunity to. So they should also, you know, like if they think there's something that they need to talk about, you know, they should go ahead and submit their panels.
Right. I think that's fair. And if I end up at BronyCon this year, you better expect that I'm going to put in some sort of circle jerky panel. It'll be great. It'll be terrible. It'll be the worst thing. Don't go to it. I'm not going to submit for a panel. Next question. When is Silent Jade coming back?
When I sit down to write it.
Perfect.
So, in other words, never? Or
no, it is happening. I'm switching among which story exactly to like start writing now that I finished Gunsmoke. So like I'm like, once it's settled, I guess it'll decide whether it's first or after. So soon-ish.
Alrighty. Now we have an either-or question.
And get ready to drink.
You lose your film fiction moderator status, and in doing so, you save all the stories you posted here on the site. Or you get to keep your mod status, but it's at the cost of losing all the stories you posted here on the site.
Save my stories.
Ooh, so your stories are more important to you than being a mod.
Well, the thing is, you know, like if I'm being threatened to lose my moderator status or take my stories out, I don't want to be part of that.
Alrighty.
That's super fair. I can
see. And then his final question. This is Lunatone. What is your first impression of the wonderfully lewd good HIE list group?
So far, so good. Yeah, no, from like posts I've seen and podcasts I've listened to, yeah, I had a good impression of you guys.
And we're not banned yet?
I didn't say that.
Oh,
if you were to give criticism, it'd be that we need 20% more
story.
Well,
Okay.
there is a legitimate concern that we're bringing people on and we're interviewing them, and it's not necessarily safe for work. It's not quite as
Well, the thing is, though,
reputable as Seattle's Angels.
I think that the bottom line is, though, like, you can't, like, it's better this way because you can't be like everyone exactly the same. And I mean, let's face it, there's close to no kids that
Okay, hold on.
really participate in, except Rob.
Back the fuck up. Did you just say Adel?
What?
He was trying
No,
to
I said
say. You said
he didn't
say
mean to.
Adel.
It was a slip of the tongue. He was trying to say Seattle. He doesn't actually say it that way. I've heard him. Don't worry.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So much doubt.
All right,
I give
whatever.
him shit for his accent all the time. Don't even worry.
The point being, like, there's, I don't think that's the problem. I think that, like, people come here knowing what they're going to be listening to. So if it's not safe for work when they're listening to and someone complains about that because they heard it, it's on them. It's not on you guys. So.
Right.
All right, we have only a few more questions, please.
All right. We're going to go to some random Rapidash who asks, turn on?
Yes.
What are your turn-ons? No, I would say, what are your turn-ons?
Like, in what sense exactly?
Yes.
There's so many things. I'm interested in a wide variety of things.
Okay, so basically everything. All right, so what are your turn-offs?
Displaced.
Perfect. Let's see. Now we go to some questions from Cyber Snuggles or Cuber
right.
Snuggles. My bad.
Our last two questions.
Number one, how many stories get approved on a daily basis?
It varies, but it could be like between 80 and 100. Hello?
Priest, are you alive?
Kind of.
It just
There's
went
a
like
car
really-
running. There's a car running. Go.
All right,
Okay.
okay. Then I will ask our final question. Our last question, I think it's very important. How many rainbows can a rainbow dash if a rainbow dash could dash rainbows?
One.
Only one.
Yeah.
Only
One
a
rainbow.
single.
Because the thing is, if you stop to think about it, that becomes a continuous rainbow.
I can see that.
Isn't that called the sonic rainboom?
No, like she just keeps making a rainbow.
And the mistake has not been made to make a double rain boom. So one is.
Don't.
Priest, go away, priest.
So the
What
project.
is
I'm taking
What
over
is
your
it?
position now. Get out of here, priest.
Oh, damn it. All right. Well, then do the readout, Rob.
Patty cakes. Yay.
I don't have the readout, so you can do it.
Okay.
fine.
Well,
That's all the
wonderful.
time that we
Wonderful.
have for this particular week. Dee, thank you for coming on. When we said that 2017 was going to be the year of site staff, we actually didn't believe it ourselves, and now we're slowly bringing you guys on. Thank you for taking out the time of your day to let us interview you.
No problem, and I will tell 90 that you guys will curtsy for him. So.
Shit.
Oh.
Why did I say this? Why did I say this? Can I drink for that? Thank you. I'm gonna drink for that. No one has to tell me. It's okay.
Sounds.
I'll take a picture of all of us curtsying and send it to him, and then he'll leave immediately. It'll be great. It'll be great.
He will judge you though, because he's British. So like,
What's a curtsy?
Curtsy?
Rob. Even I know what that is.
Hold out your dress to either side, then bend your knee slightly and say, "Milady," like you're a French maid.
Alrighty.
you're a noble.
Thank you for watching the Good HAE
Uh,
podcast.
Before we do that, there's one other announcement we're going to make.
Okay.
I wanted to thank the viewers because as of today, as of this podcast, and thank you to Wander D for this too. As of today, we have 200 followers on Twitch, and we've been waiting for that event. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for following us. We really, really appreciate that. We're working on our YouTube channel as well, so follow us on there.
Speaking of that.
Congratulations, Shinji.
Speaking of the YouTube channel, we are also now official YouTube partners. We've gotten enough time on YouTube that we have our own username where they like us so much they're going to put ads on our videos. So thank you for toughing.
Do they know this is a not safe for work?
Yeah,
Yes.
they do.
All right.
They do.
And
Priest.
that means that we're making, what is it? How many cents have we made? 2 cents right now?
We have 6 cents.
6 cents. Okay, thank you for our 6
Two
cents.
of those
guys.
cents are wait. 2 of those cents are going to my Patreon, right?
So the Sixth Sense. It's the Sixth Sense.
God.
And thank you to
Um,
everyone who's tuning in from Ponyville Live as well. We get probably about 100 views a week from there. So thank you for clicking on our video. But still, thank you for everyone else who we fight along with for that top spot, like Dusty Cat and Scribbler. They're both awesome people. But that said, that's all the time that we have for this particular week. Thank you for watching the Good HAE podcast. This has been a non-pencil.
I am not out of beer yet. I'm doing something wrong.
Enigmatic Otaku.
Someday I'll earn my freedom from this.
Milk.
Bye.
Rob Cakerin, 53. Of course, Wanderer D.
I'm still drinking.
And my name's Flutter Priest. Have a great weekend.